All right. Good afternoon, everybody. It's good to be here once again. My name is Eseosa, and I was your facilitator for Monday and Tuesday. And sitting beside me is.
My name is Blessing Udeibhulu, and I was a facilitator for yesterday.
Oh, fantastic. We are going to have a summary of all topics we've shared with you for this week. And I took healthy family relationships and healthy friendships. And we succeeded in establishing some facts, which were the definitions of relationship, definition of health, definition of family, definition of friendship, and then we also talked about conflict and conflict resolution. That session was taken by Ruby, one of the facilitators. So today, I'd like us to go through everything we talked about. First of all, we said family is the smallest and most important unit in the family, in the society. Sorry, I beg your pardon. And then we talked about health. Health is the absence of disease, both in the mind, in the body, in the finances, in the relational skill. And we also talked about relationship, that it's a connection between two or more people, or how things are related. We talked about the characteristics of family. Number one was that family is universal. We cannot say that family is only known in Africa or family is only known in the United Kingdom. Family is a universal language, and I also said that as a person of faith, we realize or we discover that family has always been God's agenda from the beginning of creation. That's why when he made the world, he made a man and a woman, and he gave them the command to replenish the earth, to reproduce. And we also said that family is also our first point of interaction, our first point of education, our first point of everything that we know and we have become right now. So whatever we see in the society is a direct link to what is happening in the family. And then we moved on from there to talk about health, which is soundness of mind. You have to be sound in your mind, in your relational skills, which means you have to be sound socially, you have to be sound mentally, and we drew a balance on that. So we moved on to friendship, and I remember that there was no universally accepted definition of friendship, but I said that my definition of friendship is having preference for someone else, which means that I can be seated with 10 persons in a room, but I have preference for just 2. And we also established the fact that in having preference for these 2 people, there has to be something that is connecting us. And we said that the point of connection should be either cultural or beliefs or your value system. And we also kind of touched some basic aspects in value system, which means the goals that guide your life, the binding principles of your life. And then I think for Wednesday, Ruby touched on conflict, and I realized that this is something that plagues friendships and families at large. When you're dealing with individuals, when you're dealing with people, it means that you would have to come to a point where you disagree on something. It doesn't mean that the relationship has to end or the relationship has to break. We know that conflict means a strong disagreement on something, about something. Now, the fact that I have preference, for instance, for Blessing here, doesn't mean that we'll have to agree on the same thing all the time. There are times where she has to have her opinion about something. I should allow it be. There are times when I have to learn from her own opinion. There are times where she has to learn from my own opinion. And the fact that we have sharp disagreements or strong arguments about a particular point of action doesn't mean that we now have to speak derogatory words in the process of trying to understand our opinions. I do not have to say things that are mean to her, to my friend. You do not have to say things that are mean to your friends because you have a disagreement. you should not have to allow that disagreement fester for longer than necessary. So also we talked about conflict resolution, and one of the keys to resolving a sharp disagreement is confrontation. Confrontation has to be healthy. You do not say, oh, I want to confront someone, and then you just go, that's how you used to do, that's how you used to do. No, when you have disagreement with somebody, separate the person from the issue. The issue is, for instance, oh, I think I like ripe plantain, I like indodo, and the other person says, oh, ripe plantain, I prefer it as bole. Don't say, village girl. Is it village people that used to like bole now? No. You shouldn't bring the person into the subject. The subject should be the subject, the person should be the person. So when you're trying to resolve conflict, it should rest on the subject at hand. It shouldn't move to the next person. So confrontation has to be healthy. Even in a family, there are times when parents have disagreements, siblings will always have disagreements. It is natural. When trying to settle it or bring about a peaceful resolution about the conflict, it has to be handling the subject at hand and not attacking parties that are involved in the argument. So I just hope that we learned a lot from this, and we are giving it up to Blessing so she can round up for us.
Thank you so much, Eseosa. That was amazing. Good friends, bad friends. Good friends, bad friends. How to know if the person you have, the people you have around you, if you are supposed to maintain and continue the relationship with them, or if you should cut them